Today, we're talking about something that most people don't realize. If your nervous system is already in fight or flight, everything becomes a threat. Every comment, every look, every person around you. And from that place, life feels like something you have to defend against. But here's the real shift: it's not other people that need to change, it never is. It's your awareness of what's happening within you that needs to shift. And if this resonates, let me know you're here. This is the work we're doing. Like, share, comment, subscribe. This is how we all grow together. And I really invite you to check out some of my previous teachings that I've posted, whether on Substack or YouTube. This is the work. If you're ready to shift your life, if you are ready to become a magnetic miracle that you are, then watch these teachings. This is the work. It's not another course. It's not another book. It's you. It is you. And what's stopping you is also you. And so try this on. I wouldn't share it if I wasn't doing it. This is how my life has changed. And I'm sharing it with you because this is how we grow. I promise you this. And if you don't try it on, you'll never know. And so let's get into it. So when you're dysregulated, everything feels like a threat because you're not seeing reality clearly. You're seeing through a nervous system in defense, in fight or flight, because it's activated and it is in a reaction, fearful state. And then everything around you becomes personal, irritating, overwhelming, wrong. Does that sound familiar to you? And here's the thing that most people miss is when we feel triggered, when you feel triggered, you don't recognize it, but you project it outward as, well, they need to change and they shouldn't be doing that. But the truth is, it's your system asking, demanding, screaming for safety. Something has triggered and activated your nervous system, and you haven't caught it. You haven't become aware of it. You haven't showed yourself that you are safe within it. This is how we move past wounds and traumas and anything that has happened in our past, because it's the past coming up, but the past is gone. We just haven't showed our body, our nervous system, that we are safe. And so it just keeps repeating. It just keeps repeating. And everything is chaotic around us and overwhelming. And we got to go. We got to hustle, right? And so this also intersects so deeply with our identity, our self-concept, because this all comes from your self-concept, your learned patterns, and your past experiences. If your past is built around threat, you will see threat everywhere because you haven't showed yourself safety within those threats. And so again, where do these learned patterns, where do these past experience, where do these beliefs come from within ourselves? And I call them beliefs because here's what I know to be true. A belief is something we haven't challenged. A belief is something that it's just sort of automatic. We don't even know where it comes from. We're just doing it based on how our parents treated us, how our parents parented, how they were, our ancestors, based on your culture, your religion, what you were exposed to as a child via the media, right? Your teachers, and it goes on and on. They have all helped to shape our self-concept, our identity. And it's what we believe about ourselves. But here's the question: what do you know about yourself? Because what you know isn't a belief. What you know cannot be taken from you. And so when our nervous system is in fight or flight, when we are in that state, we get into this victim loop and everything feels like a problem. You start believing everyone else is the issue because that's where the victim state really lives. That's what we're seeing. We're feeling this within our bodies and we are representing it in an outward state, but this is an inside job. Everyone is on their own journey, coming from their own beliefs, coming from their own thoughts, feelings, and patterns, their own opinions, because that's what life is a bunch of opinions, right? How do I know what a strawberry tastes like to you and vice versa? We can never know. And so you are not the victim of your life. You are not. And it's not about someone else shifting. It's about recognizing within you what has happened within inside of you. It is an inside job, so try that on. Feeling defensive is a huge moment to pause and get curious and see what's yours to own and what is not. Show yourself that you are safe in those moments. That is how we move past traumas and wounds. And all of these programs, this is how we change our self-concept, who we are. Because it's all been developed out of fear and victimhood. And so the nervous system, right? There's two states, and I'm sure that you've heard of this. But there's the sympathetic, and it's okay if you haven't, right? The sympathetic, which is the fight or flight. It's very reactive. It's very defensive. It's extremely controlling. And it is constantly in overwhelm. And so if you say that, just that one word, overwhelm, you are in a nervous system state. Excuse me, you are in a sympathetic fight or flight nervous system state. Overwhelm, stress, anxiety. That's the same thing. And you cannot create your life from here. You cannot change your life from fight or flight, from a sympathetic state. And then we have the parasympathetic state, which is regulated and it's coherent and it's calm and it's present and it's aware and it is safe. It is safe. And you'll know it when you feel that. And so right now, just release the tension in your body. Let your shoulders just fall away from you. And let your jaw soften. Soften your eyes and your face. Allow your breath to slow. This is calm. It's presence. It's safety. And in this state, in this coherent, calm, present state, your intuition opens. You don't need another third eye class. Clarity soars in. Real change happens. And I'll share something with you. These talks that I share, I was in the shower half hour ago. And I said, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about today because I'm committed to doing these teachings. And I said, it's okay. And I dropped all thought around me and it soars in. And I share that because you have that power too. You're allowing things to come through you when you are calm. Love is louder and more beautiful. Everything you feel in that coherent state becomes magnetic. It's so powerful. Try it on if you don't believe me. And so when you're in a coherent state, you respond instead of react. You feel safe in your body. Your thoughts aren't jumbled and just racing through. And you can process these old wounds and these traumas without becoming them. And nothing outside of you needs to change, only your relationship to it. And here's the thing, I am also an energy healer, and I've done lots of energy healing for past clients and for myself. This is the work. This has shifted me and my clients faster than any other healing sessions, than tapping your way through your wounds. Because it's about in those moments of feeling yourself triggered and showing yourself safety. Because since it happened, you haven't shown your body that you are safe in it. So it will continue to react up until you're 90, 95, who knows? Something that happened when you were 1 year old, you're reacting to 89 years later because you haven't showed yourself what safety was. And it's not your fault. You didn't know. You didn't know. But now you know something different. And this is the greatest shift of all. Because we can hold ourselves in blame, shame, and guilt. But the reality is, you didn't know what you know now. You were coming from your state of awareness, your state of consciousness at that time. And so 10 years later, of course, you're going to think something different, know something different. Guess what? It's an hour by hour too. Oh, I didn't realize that my nervous system was reacting. I didn't notice that I was in fear. And so things start to soften around you. Relationships soften. Everything around you softens because you are coming from a different state. Think about that. Think about that. If someone says something that you don't like and you start to want to fight, but you pause and you breathe and you show yourself love, you soften. And now when you speak to this other person, they too will soften. And even if they don't, it's of no consequence to you. You think about how many times you're trying to reason with an activated nervous system. It's not going to happen. So you can show up in a coherent state, speak your truth, be wildly boundaried in the most appropriate of ways, and let the rest of the universe. Good, better, and best is always seeking you. Are you open to it? These are these tiny, beautiful little miracles. This is where abundance and manifestation is coming through us in a coherent state. We cannot manifest from stress because, well, let me rephrase that. You can manifest from stress. And what you'll do is attract the opposite of it. Everything in your life you have created up until this moment. It doesn't mean it's your fault. That's just the reality of it. And you've created it based on your state, your self-concept, your identity. Because you don't know what safety feels like. And so this is the work. Try this on. You need to show yourself that you are safe. When someone looks at you, someone looks at you a little harshly. When someone sends that, you receive that text message and you think, oh my goodness, they're ready to fight. Are they? Or is your state creating it? Because in a calm state, if someone sends you a text message that is a little off-putting, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're in your truth. You're showing up in your total sovereignty and authenticity. And you know that it's a matter of the ego. When you want to tell them they're wrong and bad and off, and the ego is reacting from a fearful nervous system. Let me know if this is resonating with you. I would love to hear from you. And if there's something that you want me to share, if there's different practices, I'm here for you. So let me know. And again, there's nothing I'm telling you that I haven't done. And the beautiful thing is your life will continue to show you where it is you need to heal. So when, for instance, I find myself in that sympathetic state, I say, oh, arigato. Thank you. Thank you. This is showing me something deeper. This is showing me another level. This is showing me something that I now get to show love to and show my nervous system that I am safe in it. Because again, it is an inside job. If you're ready to shift, if you're ready to have, be, and do anything that you want, change your state. Change your state. Your self-concept. Calm your nervous system. They all flow together. There is no urgency here. Urgency is another huge one. Where we, I got to do all of these things. There's so much to do. That's urgency. And that is coming from a dysregulated nervous system. There are so many clues. There are so many clues. And they're so beautiful when you allow them, when you invite them without the shame, blame, and guilt. And you just invite them in. And you try on what I'm sharing, of just holding it, of just witnessing it, feeling it in your body, and sending it love. You're showing yourself, your nervous system, that you are safe. And this will change your life. It will change everything around you. It can't not. These are laws of the universe. They're not something that I've created. I'm just sharing it through a different lens, through my own nervous system. And so let's practice some coherent breathing, because when you feel triggered, reactive, when you can catch it, here's one thing that you can try on right away. And this will calm your nervous system. It will show you that you are safe so that then you can respond. And so let's do this together. I want you to inhale through your nose. Now, I'm an advanced breathing practitioner through Patrick McEwen. And so everything I teach is going to be in and out through your nose. I know a lot of other practices are in through your nose and out through your mouth, but that's not anything that we're going to do. Everything is going to be through our nose, because that's how I was taught. That's what I learned. That's what makes the most sense if you really dig into it, that this is not a vessel for breathing, only this is. So we're going to inhale through our nose, inhale through your nose for 4 to 5 seconds. And then we're going to exhale for 4 to 5 seconds. And now, if you can, we're going to do an inhale for 4 and an exhale for 6, because a longer exhale is a greater, it's a greater influence to your nervous system. And so you want to try it with me? Let's try it together. There's a couple of different variations of this, all of which intentionally breathing and just simply having a longer exhale will signal to your nervous system that you are safe. And so let's do it together if it's safe to do so. I want you to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can do this for a minute, because now you've taken your breath from rapidly breathing when we are in a stressed state to a very calm breathing, right? And so if you think about it, if you do that, so it's 10 seconds. So if you do 10 of that, or excuse me, if you do it for 1 minute, then you've only breathed intentionally 10 times. Whoa. You're helping to show your body what safety is. And the goal, it's not perfection, right? But it is showing your body, signaling safety to your body. And this is one of the tools that I use. And there's different variations of breathing techniques that we'll go over through future talks. There's different states of how just sharing and sending love to the tension in your body can help dissipate it. And I'll continue to go over those. So if there's any ones that you feel you want to know more about, then drop a comment so that I can share it. Because this is the work. And if this is landing for you, don't just believe me. Try it on. And I say this incredibly intentionally for you, because you can read any of the books. I have tons of them. I read constantly, but if you don't implement it, if you don't try it on, you'll never know what it is or feels like. And therefore, it's just something you've read. It's just something you've watched on TikTok. It's just a reel that you've happened to come across right now, right? So try it on. And this is what you can do for yourself. If you're really ready for this work, are you? Don't you want this? Don't you want a calm life? Don't you want miracles to just be abundant all around you? Don't you want to be sovereign and speak from your most authentic self? Don't you want to come from a pure space of love? Because you can. You can have, be, and do any of those. But this is the work. So start noticing when you feel reactive, when you feel controlling, when everything around you feels like a problem. That is your signal. That's your body. The universe saying, hey, it's time for us to shift. And when that happens, the first thing you do, drop your shoulders. Soften your face, relax your jaw, slow your breathing, soften your eyes. If it still feels active, breathe in for 4, out for 6, for a minute. Try that on, and then respond. Because it's not that something is wrong outside of you, but something is activated within you. And this is your invitation inward. You have everything within you. Everything you're looking for is not outside of you. It's in your awareness. It's in your nervous system. And it's in your ability to pause and to choose. And when you begin to live from a regulated, coherent state, everything shifts. If this resonates, follow along. Like, subscribe, share, carrier pigeon it. I don't care. This is the work we're doing here. And if you're ready to go deeper, those spaces are open. But for now, don't believe me. Try it on. Cheers to you, beautiful soul.